Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, July 26, 2022. We get together with our distribution partners most weekday mornings at this time to talk strategies, share success stories, talk tips, but mostly we're here to support each of you. Yesterday, we announced the SBA Express Loan Program. And so hopefully you either joined us live or listened to the recording yesterday. Today, we're going to build off of that a bit. So we'll do a quick recap. But what we want to do today is really talk about the significant opportunity that most entrepreneurs are overlooking in terms of SBA loans. The three of us that put this model together, so myself and two others, we all work for the SBA as SBDC Advisors. All three of us were in different offices across the state of Texas. And so we consistently saw that the SBA has money allocated to loan. There's actually a need for more applicants. If you look, the fiscal year budget for 2022 is 49 billion with the B dollars. That's how much the SBA has set aside to loan to small businesses this year. That's a crazy amount, right? That's huge, huge, huge. And so what you and I can do together as distribution partners is start accessing some of those funds by helping small businesses get S7A Express loans. And those, while 7A Express loans theoretically can be higher than 150, our preferred lending partner has a very expedited and simplified process for 150,000. So if you run across clients that need more than 150,000, can we facilitate SBA loans for larger amounts? Absolutely, up to around 5 million. But this specific program is laser focused on the smaller amount up to 150,000 with very quick results. So on the background, again, just reiterating that we launched the SBA Express program yesterday. And here's a quote actually from the SBA. So this is not a quote from us, but it's important that we all have this mindset that there's this big bucket, not just big, a huge bucket, $49 billion bucket of funds that are available for small businesses. So let's look at this quote from the SBA. They stated, "Access to capital is critical to the long-term success of America's small businesses. Many entrepreneurs or small business owners often do not have the same access to credit as larger businesses, which more readily can take on a conventional bank loan. New entrepreneurs may not have a credit score that can help them secure a loan." And that's the niche that the SBA wants to serve. And they set aside billions and billions of dollars to make loans available to small businesses that would not normally qualify for a business loan. I mean, that's pretty empowering to realize that. I think for many of your prospects and many of your clients, they've heard of SBA loans, but it sounds something that's unattainable or too complicated or not really accessible, but it's far from that. Now, further, this is also from the SBA directly. It's important for you to understand that their top strategic goal is, quote, support small business revenue and job growth. And with that, they have 3 bullets. They want to increase capital provided to small businesses when conventional credit is not available. They want to supplement investment capital to small businesses that have inadequate supply of capital, and expand knowledge of SBA loans. Well, this is perfect, right? For you and I as technical advisors, this is the perfect funding source. Most of what we do is not targeted to an individualized type of funding. So we can take people through the 4-week process and build out business plans and financial forecasts and build a loan package, and that's very valuable. However, here what we're doing is very much a focused, laser focused approach of let's get the clients a 7A Express loan, maximum of 150,000. It's more efficient, right? Because we're laser focused on what we're going to do. What are some of the highlights of our SBA Express program? As we covered yesterday, and as is on the website, and as is on the fact sheet we shared with you. Quick approvals, typically same day approval as the application. Fast funding as little as 10 business days. It's true that startup businesses can receive SBA Express loans. We dispelled that myth yesterday that some people think, oh, you have to be in business at least 2 years to get an SBA loan. That is not true. There's no risk to the participants. We have a written guarantee. Credit requirements are very reasonable. We had some dialogue about this yesterday. Do they look at credit? Of course, but they're looking at FICO SBSS, a different scoring algorithm that looks at business credit as well. And so if the participant doesn't have a strong enough business credit profile, then we can help them address that through this resource very, very quickly. So that's not a problem. Participants are going to receive assistance in preparing their loan package from a business paralegal. And I think you all know what business paralegals are. It's kind of a fast growing subsection of the legal industry. And it's typically people that have a paralegal certificate and also an MBA or higher, MBA or PhD in business. And they all of us that work with clients work for the SBA, either directly or through the SBDC. So they're getting quality help. The loan package, as you know, and we talked about yesterday, normally it's $2,500. However, with the grant allocation, that reduces it by over half, down to $999.99, so under $1,000. Plus, only half of that is paid up front. The other half is paid after funding. Now, if you're a white label partner, you can manipulate those prices and increase those and mark it up as you'd like. As a referral partner, that's what you'd be taking to the marketplace. And that's what's reflected on our website. We obviously have direct access to preferred SBA 7A Express lenders. And then what's in it for you, of course, is helping people, but earning income. And there's two different ways that you can earn income. If you just want to be a referral partner, as we talked about yesterday, earn an easy $100 by just referring people to SBAExpressProgram.org. Should take you a matter of a few minutes, but if we even round it up and said it took you an hour, which it certainly won't, I mean, that's the equivalent of earning $100 an hour. That's how many of us in our society think about income. Well, how much do I make per hour? Well, even if you needed to go find a prospect and then pitch the prospect to go to the site, you're less than an hour per prospect and you're generating $100. So is it get rich quick? Of course not. Are there other things that you could do to go make more than $100 an hour? Possibly. I mean, you'd have to evaluate that, but it's real money for providing a real service. Now, conversely, if you're a white label partner, then you can make as much as you want, right? Because you and I know as white label partners, they control their own pricing. And if you're not a white label partner, but would like to become one, you can go to 4weekfunding.com to become one. So let's dig into some new information that we didn't discuss yesterday, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. There are some distinct advantages of the SBA 7A Express loans that maybe you're aware of, maybe not, but let's just cover a few of the highlights. Number one, they have low payments, and low payments because it's a longer repayment process. It's usually set up as a 10-year repayment term. So the principal amount is broken down over what? 120 months. So let's say you borrowed 150, well, we'll just do easy numbers. We'll ignore interest for a second, but if you borrowed 120,000 and you're paying it back over 120 months, the principal itself would be about $1,000 a month. I think that's probably a very reasonable payment for a very large injection of capital. Also, the payments are low for a second reason, because the interest rates are regulated by the federal government. You're not going to see these real high, sky high interest rates. They are capped. The amount of the cap will be based upon a few variables, but typically it'll be about 2.75% above prime rate. And so it'll vary. You know, interest rates certainly are going up in our society, and the Federal Reserve board is meeting, I believe, again this week about another price hike. So it's comparably very low interest, but it's not going to be 0% interest, of course. That's too good to be true. Another very significant advantage of the SBA 7A program is that the funds can be used for a lot of different things. And this isn't an all-inclusive list, but let's just go through some of it. It can be used for working capital. In other words, to pay yourself a salary or to hire people or to pay for marketing, in other words, kind of just overhead cost. It can be used to expand a business. It can be used to buy equipment, to buy inventory. It can be used to buy real estate. It can be used for refinancing existing debt. We can go out and start a new business with it, or we can even go acquire an existing business with it. We can, of course, buy franchises as well. And then the SBA tends to be a little bit more relaxed on collateral than traditional loans. So in summary, the SBA lending program has a very large budget. It is more accessible to small businesses. That's why it exists. So businesses that couldn't just drop into Wells Fargo or Bank of America or JP Morgan Chase, that couldn't qualify because of the more rigorous underwriting of normal business loans, they can more easily qualify here. And then what you and I do by taking them through the SBA Express program is building out their loan package so they're ready to go to funding, such as the business plan and the financial projections. Again, this is a very targeted approach. So when we're developing a business plan for the SBA Express program, we're developing a very specific business plan based upon what that lender wants. So it's very quick, very efficient. It's frankly a one-page business plan. That's what they want. When we're putting together the financial projections, it's specifically targeted towards this. So while the 4-week funding program that we offer is obviously still available, and we have thousands and thousands of clients going through it, that's great. This is a great resource either for those that have completed that and or those that really don't want the broader financial literacy. They don't want to go through the 4 modules. They don't want to have to complete participant guides. They just want to get funding. And so normally the timeline would be from the day that they enroll. Within 1 week, we should be able to apply for funding. And as stated, we should be able to get the approval same day or next day. And then we should be able to actually get funded within as little as 10 business days. So let's address questions, comments, concerns that anyone has. Again, if you missed yesterday's training, you can certainly go to sbaexpressprogram.org and get a refresher. But this covers the highlights of what we discussed yesterday, not as much of the why we're doing it, but the what. Certainly, you know how to be able to refer people in to monetize it. And then what we did introduce today is some new information about some of the advantages of SBA 7A Express loans that you might not have known. So who has questions on the SBA Express program construct, the benefits to the client, the benefits to you by earning income, how to submit leads, how to find leads? Who has any questions that I can assist you with today? Because otherwise, I mean, you're armed and ready. If you're a referral partner, it's super simple. Just refer them over here. If you're a white label partner, then you're going to get them under contract with you, and you already have a contract template. You can adjust it or use the standard access to capital template if you want. All right, if you have any questions, just go ahead and type it into the Q&A. All right, so the question's about leads. So we've talked about a number of different places to get leads. If you have your own landing page, there are organizations that will literally drive leads to you, like RealX Traffic. You can pay them a nominal fee and they'll literally drive leads to you. So if you want to have a landing page similar to SBA Express program, Scott Stroud, our Chief Marketing Officer, can set up a custom landing page for you. There's a small fee, but it's very nominal that he charges. And so then you could just get get that lead source to drive people into your landing page. So that's one option. You can certainly go to the library and access Sales Genie, used to be called Reference USA. I think it's called even Data Axle now, but that's a database of all businesses in the United States. And so you can query by location, by industry, so forth. You can go to Lead Tycoons and buy leads of different types. So on our prior trainings, we spent quite a bit of time talking about different lead sources. You can develop referral sources with accountants and with bankers and with realtors and others that refer to you. You can post on Craigslist. I mean, you could take this and create a very powerful Craigslist ad, right? So you could literally use this as the subject line, and you could almost copy and paste this out and then have them reply back to you. Of course, you probably want to leave this out, but essentially the content that's on the resource page and what we've shared with you would make a very strong ad to put on Craigslist or Facebook or what have you. Thank you, Jeanette, for that question. Veronica asked about using the hybrid method and then offer this, and that's fine. Yeah, so you could start by feeding them into the free 4-week funding program and then pivot them over to this. So that's a good idea, Veronica. That is fine. Janina asked, how do we go about talking to clients to get them to sign up? Well, you're going to have to generate the lead, and frankly, I mean, this is the value proposition, isn't it? This is it. So these are the things that you'd want to talk about. And with that, then you want to ask them to give it a try. There's no risk to them, as we've discussed. So for them to move forward in the process, you would either submit their information if you're a referral partner here, or if you're a white label partner, you're going to get them under your own contract. We've provided you a contract template on the white label page. So you all are experts, or at least competent in business development. So we're not really a sales training program. But if you have that competency to reach out to prospects and explain or at least introduce a proposition and give them a call to action, I think you'll find this to be a very, very well received proposition. But I don't know that you would need anything, frankly, other than the words on this page. Whether you're going to post it in an ad or to say it verbally, this is pretty much it, right? All right, thank you, Janina, for your question. Tamika says she wants to enroll today. Great, great, great. So it's really simple. What you'll do is you'll go to SBA Express program.org, and that's literally where you would enroll yourself, Tamika, or someone else. And if you want to be a referral partner, there's really not much to it. You can begin referring to that site. It's all there for you. No cost, of course, to be a referral partner. Okay, let's see. Got another question about leads, and we've kind of covered leads. I mean, you can develop your own leads by posting ads. You can develop referral partners. You can buy leads. You can pay people and organizations that drive leads to your landing page. We've covered that in separate trainings, but I guess the simplest, if you just needed an action step after today, I'd go on Craigslist and I'd post this in about 5 to 10 different markets. And again, leave this out, but post the rest of the ad on Craigslist or on Facebook and have them respond back to you. You get their name, their email, their phone, and then you can go drop them on the lead form on this page, and we'll take it from there. You get paid. Super simple. All right. Brett's been with us for a while. And so Brett, yeah, you may want to try this campaign. This is a campaign that is more laser focused and maybe something that you can get more traction with than you've had before. Again, here's the wording to use, whether you're speaking to someone and or posting an ad. All right, Veronica asked, by offering the small business certification program, would this greater their opportunity to qualify for this program? Well, so let's step back and let's talk big picture for a moment. Let's say you and I are going to make dinner together and watch a game tonight. Baseball, I guess, is in season right now. So we could go to their grocery store and just buy groceries and then get home and then decide what to make. And so that's okay. And I guess that's a good analogy of what we're doing when we're taking them through the normal 4-week curriculum. You know, we're building a business plan and financial projections and financial statements and putting everything together. It's very valuable. It's award-winning curriculum. They're learning and we're positioning them for a capital raise. At the end of that 4 weeks, then we can determine where to go for funding based upon their mitigating circumstances. So that's analogous to you and I going to the store, picking groceries and putting in the cart, but not really having decided what we're going to make yet. So in contrast, this is saying, all right, we're going to make pepperoni pizza. So now we go down to the store and we either buy the pre-made crust or the ingredients to make a crust. We get tomato sauce, we get some cheese, and we get pepperoni, right? So we know exactly what we're going to make. So it's targeted, it's faster, it's just laser focused. And so do people, Veronica's question is, sort of, you know, do people benefit from going through the 4-week process versus this? Well, of course, because they're learning a lot more and it's a more in-depth program. But if you have clients that say, man, oh man, that's all great, but I just need to get funding. I need to get funding fast. Then this is a way to go. Plus, you'll make money quicker on this because you're going to make, as a referral partner, $100, which I know $100 isn't a big deal, but what we talked about yesterday, you know, it costs nothing to be a referral partner, so there's no ROI. It's all profit to you. You can work from home on a very part-time basis. You can work in your pajamas, pick your time, control your schedule. I don't know, to me, and it would be more than $100 an hour, but to make $100 an hour for a side gig, I don't think that's embarrassing, right? A lot of people don't earn that. If you want to make more and get more involved, then of course, that's where the white label partner would come involved. All right, well, thanks everyone. The ball's in your court. There's literally $49 billion available to small businesses. I'm not making it up. You're not making it up. It's true. $49 billion is available to small businesses. Why don't you and I go out and help small businesses get their piece of that? That's what we're asking you to do and offering to do. All right, well, thanks everyone. We'll see you back tomorrow morning. Have a good day.